Oh, here we go, guys. All right, Coach, you're up 14 in the third. You're almost about to break this team. What happened after that?
They went on a 25-8 run, and then they opened the fourth quarter on an 8-0 run. Obviously, I love the effort and the defense. We started that third quarter with Vic. I think they were 1 for the first 10 shots. Then after that, obviously, they started getting whatever they wanted. They lived in our paint at times tonight. And then Jared Bayless came in and obviously got going really early in that fourth quarter, opened it up. Gave ourselves a chance. I thought our second half defense was better. I think we held them to 42 from the field, I think 17 or 18 from 3. Didn't turn the ball over. I think what it came down to tonight was at the end of the day, we couldn't make any shots. We were 2 different teams. First half, 61 points. I think we shot 52 from the field. Then you go to that second half, and we only scored 41, and we shoot 27%. And if you look at the box score, we had a lot of guys struggle to make shots, and shots that we usually knock down. So, tough loss, obviously, they all are. I thought our guys did battle, we competed, gave ourselves a chance at the end, but you can't be up 11, can't be up 14 and just give it right back and get down like we did tonight. So hopefully we'll learn from that.
You warned of this before the game when news came down that Embiid wasn't going to play. Was there a sense of overconfidence with your team?
I don't know if it was an overconfidence, I'll be honest. I was scared, I just did not have a good feeling the whole day because I know what happens when a star player is out. You can tell them not to, relax. But at the end of the day, those guys, they have talented players. And they went out there and played at a high level. They played hard. They played with pace. And each guy had a moment. T.J. McConnell had a little stretch where he took over. Bayless had a stretch where he took over. J.J. Redick in the first half. I mean, dead ball, J.J. Redick gets an open 3. Things that can't happen. But I don't think our guys came in here overlooking this team and not playing hard. I wouldn't categorize this as that. I give them credit. They played well and they got the road win.
You mentioned struggling making shots. Nicola especially struggled tonight with this shot. Is that something that fatigue sets in, or mental? What is it?
I'm not sure. We had 2 days since our last game, in between our last game. And obviously, one thing we've been very mindful of is making sure we give our guys the necessary rest, both mentally and physically. So we had a pretty good 2 days in between games. But when you see that many guys missing shots, you have to wonder if fatigue is a factor. We're almost halfway through the season. We have some guys that are playing heavy minutes. And the good thing is that we have 3 days in between our next game against Phoenix. So hopefully we can get our bodies and our minds right and start the new year on a high note.
We saw a dose in the third quarter of Hacka Plumlee. How do you combat against that if other teams are going to start doing it?
Obviously, you give him a chance, and if he's not making shots, you got to get him out. I mean, it's as simple as that. I hate the fact that when he makes a free throw, the whole place is going crazy. Mason Plumlee's not trying to miss free throws. And I wish our fans would get it off his back in that regard. We had a great crowd tonight. We appreciate their support. Mason goes out there and busts his ass every night. And if that situation arises again where they're fouling him and he's not making him, I'll just have to get him out, and then I can bring him back in until the end of the 2-minute mark.
Can you use this game as a wake-up call game down the road? Can you warn against getting overconfident or whatever you want to use it for?
Yeah, I think so. I think the best time to teach is after a loss. I think we have to use this as a teaching tool. And not just because Embiid didn't play. I mean, like I said, they're an NBA team. They got off to a great start, and they have some talented players that played well tonight. But we'll definitely watch film, learn from it, grow from it, and hopefully use it moving forward.
What's it allowed Jared Bayless to get going or get free there in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, they created separation for him. They set good screens. He came off, and he's been having a good year for them. And it's like anything. When you see that ball go through the net, you get a little bit more confidence. And Redick had confidence in the first half. McConnell had confidence. He had confidence. It was good to see our defense kind of pick up a little bit in that second half. But I think it was just a matter of Jared getting open, them getting him open, and then he stepped up and made the plays. So give him credit.
You talked about guys just missing shots. Were you getting generally then the shots that you wanted in the second half? You thought the offensive was generating those looks?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a lot of open looks. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, they are a good defensive team. Obviously much better with Joel Embiid. But I do think we had some looks that, for us, weren't even close tonight. I mean, which is not who we've been. We've been a team that has shot the ball pretty well from the perimeter. And tonight, you could tell some of our misses weren't even on the mark, if you will. So, to Vic's point earlier, I'm sure fatigue has played a factor, and we'll be smart as to how we prepare for our next game against Phoenix, I think on Wednesday night, if it is.
And yet you had guards shooting 60%, in the first half. So what were they doing in that first half that was making them successful that maybe just wasn't happening in the second?
Well, I think again fatigue. I mean, as the game goes along and you're expending so much energy, I think that team they move the ball. They're in constant movement. They lead the NBA in passes per game. So each possession, you got to work your butt off because it's constant movement. No one, J.J. Redick isn't standing in a corner. You're chasing, you're chasing, you're chasing. When you do that for 2 quarters, into the third quarter, into the fourth quarter, that gets tiring, man. And I think so. It wasn't necessarily the different shots. It was, I think, fatigue set in, and guys just were unable to step up and make the big shot tonight. I thought we had a couple of great looks down low with Nikola. You know, a couple of times when he came down, he had blood on his arm. You know, but I guess you know they didn't deem it enough contact to warrant the foul call. But you know, the guys tried, guys competed. Obviously, we're so used to winning these games at home because we've been playing at such a high level. And tonight wasn't our night. And we'll regroup and we'll get better and we'll learn from it.
How do you assess 2017? This was the final game of the year.
Yeah, I'd say overall it's more positive than negative. By no means are we satisfied with being, I think, 19 and 17. But when you take everything into account, the injury to Paul Millsap, the 6 or 7 games that Nikola Jokic missed, the fact that we've had the schedule that we've had, and I think we're tied for the most road games in the West, I think overall we're heading in the right direction. And hopefully we can use January, which is a lot of home games, to kind of build and get ahead and not just be 2 games over 500. So I'm pretty satisfied with where we are, but we have a lot of work to do.
Will Barton's shot hasn't seemed to be falling recently. What has kind of gone into his slump, do you think?
He didn't have a slump in Minnesota. I thought he was great in Minnesota. That was just 1 game ago. I think he struggled tonight like everybody else. Guys are tired. We're asking them to do a lot of things, and I have no doubt that Will Barton, Gary Harris, Nikola Jokic, and everybody else will bounce back and be ready for Phoenix.